Hey everyone, welcome back to our playlist Programmer's Guide to SDSA. In previous video, we have seen operations based on single linked list. In this video, we'll be seeing operation based on doubly linked list. So the flow of the video will be as follows. Firstly comes the introduction of doubly linked list. Then we'll be discussing some operations in order to insert a node at head, tail and nth position respectively of a particular linked list. Similarly, we'll be performing some operations in order to delete a particular node from different positions. So what exactly is a doubly linked list? So first of all, to revise the concepts of single linked list, we had an object named node in which we had the data as well as we consisted the address to the next node. So that was basically a pointer to the next node. The head will be the node A, which will be consisting the data in it as well as the memory address of the second or the upcoming node. So it will be pointing towards the next node, towards the data of the next node. And further, as the B node is the tail over here, it will be further pointing towards null. But in doubly linked list, we are going to have an extra pointer which is going to point to the previous nodes. As visible over here, this diagram is similar to the single linked list, but it is having an extra block, or we can say some extra part is going to be allocated, which will be consisting the memory to the previous node. So just like this, there will be an extra pointer pointing towards the previous nodes starting from the tail node, and the previous point of the head node will be pointing towards null. So we are having some of the advantages and disadvantages of doubly linked list as compared to single linked list. So as we are having a previous pointer which is an extra pointer, the insertion and deletion operations in doubly linked list are more efficient as compared to single linked list. The problem or the biggest disadvantages of a doubly linked list, we have to modify previous pointers with the next pointers when we are going to perform some operations. So while we'll be coding a particular linked list, we'll be experiencing that we have to perform some more number of operations, as we have to initialize or we have to provide new values to the previous pointers as well. So first of all, we'll be going through the first method of insertion of nodes so that we'll be able to at least print the linked list and understand how exactly a doubly linked list is going to be performing. So inserting a particular node at head. So as the previous slides were there, so we knew that the head will be pointing towards the first node, and so on. The procedure of pointing towards the next node will be continuing unless and until there will be the last node which will be pointing towards null. And just reverse to that, from the tail node, the previous pointer will be pointing to backwards unless and until it encounters the head node, whose previous pointer is going to point to null. So what exactly we are supposed to do? We are supposed to create a new object, a new node. We are supposed to make that particular node as head. So in order to make that node as head, the previous pointer should point towards the new node. That is the first thing to be considered. Secondly, we are supposed to make the next pointer of the new node created to point towards the previous head. And at last, we'll be initializing head as this new node itself, so that we'll be able to successfully insert a node at the start of the linked list that we have created, and the data will be accordingly visible to us. So let's move on to the coding part, in which we'll be simply making some of the function to insert a node at the head. So this is the basic syntax. Now let's get started by creating the object or the node first, in which we'll be having a data part and two different pointers, that is the next pointer and the previous pointer. We are supposed to make all these variables as public so that we can access them outside the class. So this is how the object node is going to look like, as we have earlier seen in the PPT. It will be consisting of data, and it will be consisting memory location of the next node and memory location of the previous node. So now let's code to insert a particular node at the start. So before that, let us write a small program or a small function in order to create a new node in which the next and the previous pointers will be pointing towards the null, and the data present in it will be initialized to the data we are going to pass as the argument. So let us name that particular method as create new node. So basically the return type we can keep as the node itself, so that we can directly initialize that node in any of the programs that we want to. So over here I have created an object named new node, which is the instance of the node. So it will be having all the parameters as present over here. The data of this particular new node is to be initialized to the data that we are going to give as argument. Previous and the next pointers are supposed to point to null. So we have created a small function to create a particular node. Now let us create a function to insert a node. So basically, in order to explain, as of now, we'll be creating a function to which will be accepting the argument as the reference of the head node, so that the changes that we are going to make are going to directly be reflected without any return type. So the double pointer towards the head will be giving the reference to the head pointer itself. So while giving the arguments as well, the head pointer will be declared as the start of the linked list, and further we'll have to give the ampersand sign so as to give the reference of the head node. So as of now, we are supposed to create a new node, but we have created a function. So I forgot to give the return of the new node. So new node will be returned over here. So now first of all, create a new node in order to insert at the start of the linked list. So yeah, so the new node over here is going to be created, and as the return type over here was new node, so all these things will be done with the help of this function itself. So as we are supposed to insert the node at the start, if the head is going to be equals to null, then we are supposed to directly initialize the new node as the head. So if the head pointer is going to point towards null, that is, we are not having any of the nodes present in the linked list, then the new node is going to become the new head, and here we are supposed to return. My bad. So this will stop the function execution of the function, and we'll be getting the first node of our linked list. But if the head is not pointing towards null, we'll be discussing with the help of code itself now. So as we have seen in the PPT, the previous pointer of the current head has to point towards the new node. The next pointer of the new node that we have created is supposed to point towards head, and we have to initialize the new node as the head itself. We have seen in the PPT, we have coded it accordingly. Now what we are required to do is to code such a function which will help to print the particular linked list. So I'll be just coding that particular function and explaining its importance. So this is small print function in which we'll be giving the head as the argument over here. It will be printing the values of the data of the head. So head will be going to traverse throughout the complete linked list unless and until the head is going to point towards the last node. In the last node, we all have seen it will be pointing towards null. So at that point, the loop will be broken and the complete linked list is going to be printed before that. Now let us experiment or see whether the insert at start function that we have coded as of now is working properly or not. We are going to make a linked list. The head is supposed to point towards the null at the very previous or the first stage. So let us create head which will be pointing towards null. So now the linked list has started and now we can insert the node at the head, insert at start, and we are going to give the reference of the head along with the data. Let us take a Spotify as of now and let us print this by giving the head as the argument over here. So after running the example, now as it is visible over here, the 44 which has been inserted at the start of the linked list is getting properly printed. Now to experiment, let us insert two more new nodes to see whether the node that we are going to create is going to be inserted at the head only or at the end. Yeah, so over here we can see as there are two print statements, twice the linked list is going to be printed, but the updated linked list is going to be printed second time. So as we are going to insert the node at the head, the new head is going to become 78. So the function that we have made is properly functioning as of now, and we have been able to successfully insert a node at the start of particular linked list. Let us move on inserting a node at the tail. So we have created a function to insert a node at the head as of now, but now we as we have to insert the node at the end of the linked list, that is at the tail, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to traverse throughout entire linked list. We are supposed to find the node which is going to point towards null. The next point of the node will be equals to null, and at that particular after that particular node we are supposed to insert our node. So the next point of the tail node, current tail node, has to point towards our new node, and the previous point of our new node is supposed to point towards the tail node, the previous tail node. So just like that, we are supposed to create one more new function and test on the code that we have previously coded. So let's move on towards the coding part. Now we are supposed to create one more function just like insert at start in order to insert our node at the tail of the linked list. So over here, let us create a function named insert at end. So as in the previous part we have seen, we have created a complete function in order to create a new node, and we have initialized the variables in it in the particular function itself. So the new node has been created over here. Now we are supposed to create a temporary node which will traverse throughout entire linked list. So let us create a temporary node named temp. So this temporary node will be pointing towards head, so that further as we are going to put it in the loop, it will be helpful for us to modify properly without making any changes to the current head. So that's why we are going to make a temporary node pointing towards head. So over here, the condition we have to put while temp.next is not equals to null. That is, we are supposed to find such a node which is not which is going to point towards null. So whenever we get that node, we are supposed to get out of the while loop. So over here we are supposed to traverse. So if this condition present in the bracket is true, that is the next point of the temporary node is not pointing towards null, it is pointing towards a particular node, then at that time we have to increment the node. That is, we have to make the temporary node as the next node. So we have to keep on initializing the next node values to the temporary node that we have created. So that's why the temp will be equals to temp.next. So the final temp will be will be pointing towards null and coming out of this loop. The temp.next value we are going to have is equals to null. At this point, as discussed in PPT, we are supposed to make this next point towards the new node. So accordingly, let us code is equals to new node. So this will be pointing towards new node. We have to make the previous point of the new node point towards the temp.next, that is the current tel. So accordingly, new node dot previous is going to point towards the temporary node, and further the next of the new node is going to be pointing towards null itself because of this create node function. So over here as well, we have properly created a function in order to insert a node at the end of the linked list. Now let us just see whether the function is properly working or not by printing the new linked list by first inserting a node at the tail. So the previous linked list was having 44 as the tail. So let us try inserting data of 80 at the end. So I'll be passing the reference to head and inserting the data, and after that I'll be printing the linked list. So as expected, the function that we have created now is properly working. The functioning of the insert at end function is very much proper, and we are properly able to see the node is going to be inserted after the tail node. So the tail node was 44 over here, and now the new tail node is 80 because we have performed the operation insert at end. So let us once more perform this operation to ensure proper working so that we can move on further inserting a particular node at nth position of a particular linked list. So So again, the output that we are getting is satisfactory. The new node, that is 23, is again going to get inserted at the end. So the functioning of the inserting functions of inserting a node at the head and inserting a node at the tail are proper. The next part that we are going to cover is going to be inserting a particular node at nth position of the given linked list, in which the logic that we are going to use has to be a very proper logic in order to ensure that the node is going to be properly inserted even if the given linked list is going to be empty. So now let's get a look on how can we exactly insert a particular node at nth position of a linked list. So in this example, we have considered as n equals to 3, that is the third position, that is after the node B comes the third position. So at that position, how are we supposed to enter a particular node? So just as we traversed in inserting a node at the tail of a particular linked list, we are supposed to traverse in the same way. But over here, we can make use of for loop in which we can give the conditions based on the position that we are giving as the arguments. So based on that, if it is going to find that particular n minus ith node, suppose we are supposed to enter the node at the position 3 as of now, and after finding the n minus ith, that is the second node, will be inserting that node after the second node. We are supposed to make the next pointer of the second node or the n minus ith node point towards the new node. Then the previous pointer of the new node is supposed to point towards the n minus ith node. Now as the new node is going to become the nth node, so the next pointer of the new node is supposed to point towards the node that is next to the n minus ith node. So the C over here is nothing but the n minus ith. Again, to explain the new nodes next pointer is going to point towards the C, that is the node after n minus ith node, and the previous pointer of C node has to point towards the new node over here. So accordingly, we are supposed to code a logic so that our node is going to properly get inserted at nth position, and also we can properly traverse to the linked list in both forward as well as backward direction. That is, we have to take care of the previous pointer as well in this particular function. So let's get started with the coding part, in which we'll be creating one more function just like functions created to insert the node at the head and at the tail. So over here, let us create one more function named void insert at nth position. So here we are supposed to give an extra argument. This argument will be nothing but the position at which we are supposed to insert the node. So again, just like the previous functions, we are supposed to create a function in which a new node is going to be created. So a new node has been created over here. The node is to be inserted at the first position. If the position given is 1, at that point we are supposed to ensure that the head node is going to be replaced by the new node. Just as we had the logic over here, we are supposed to perform the same logic. If position will be equals to 1, then and then only this logic has to be performed. So I'll be coding for first and then explaining what exactly was happening over here. So if position will be equals to 1, then this condition has to be executed, that is inserting the node at the head. If the position is not equals to 1, then we are supposed to perform a different logic. So I'll be putting the return statement over here so that if the position is equals to 1, after performing this operation, it will be executing the function. As we know that the counter that we are going to increment in any of the data structure starts along with the index 0. So accordingly, we are supposed to make such a logic so that ith position in which we are going to insert the node will be properly inserted. So before getting started, so in order to show you as example over here, if I am supposed to insert a node after 78 over here, if I am supposed to insert a node after 78 and the position given will be 2, but how many times will my temporary node have to traverse? So as 78 is going to be the first node, that is the head node itself, the next node it's supposed to be the new node that I am going to insert. Accordingly, I don't need to traverse throughout the linked list. So because of that, the position over here will be 2 and the traversing throughout the linked list will be equals to 0 times, as the head node will be the first node itself. So in the for loop as well, we'll be stopping our temporary node at the particular point which will be less than the given position minus 2. Let us consider we are going to insert a node 67 over here. So let us see how this operation will be working in our case. So firstly, I'll be coding whole for loop and explaining the logic behind that. Before that, we are supposed to create a temporary node. So if the position will not be equals to 1, then the temporary node will be pointing towards the head node. And now we are supposed to traverse so as to ensure that how many times the node is going to point towards its next part, and so on till we encounter the position minus 2, and before that it will be stopping. Just before the index which will be less than the position minus 2 number, our temp will be stopping at that particular point. The position we had given was 2, and the second position is going to be just after the head node. So at this particular point, as we are having the temporary node pointing towards the head node, we don't need to traverse any time throughout the loop. Over here as well, as the position that we are going to give equals to 2, I will be less than equals to 0, but I is initialized as 0 first of all. So it is not going to go throughout the loop even once, it will be as it is. So the temp will be pointing towards head in this condition, and as mentioned earlier, we are supposed to make the new node next pointer to points toward the node after the temporary node. So, but just before that, let us make the temporary node point towards the new node. So, temp dot next is equals to new node. In order to access this node, the 44 over here. So, the 44 over here is temp dot next, right? So the previous temp dot next was 44. We have broken that temp dot next pointing towards 44, and we have initialized it to the new node as of now. Now further, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to make the previous of this 44 to point towards the new node, but this has to be done before this instruction, else we'll be having a new node at the next as the next node of the current or the temporary node that we have given. So let us make temp dot next dot previous is equals to new node. So what will happen in this command of line, the temporary node that is 78 dot next that is 44's previous pointer is going to point to the new node we are going to create, that is 67. So the previous pointer of 44 is pointing towards 67, and further the next pointer of 70 is going to point towards 67. So after that, what all changes we are supposed to do are from the new nodes. So again, just before changing the next node of the temporary, we are supposed to make the next node of the new node as the next node of the temporary, that is 44 in this case. New node dot next equals to temp dot next. So the new node that is 67 which we are going to insert is going to be pointing towards the next node of the temporary node, that is the 78. So 67's next will be pointing towards 44, and after that the previous of the new node is supposed to point towards temporary at the very ending of the operation. So new node dot previous is equals to temp. Now as the example we have seen, let us try by putting head as the reference, the data that 67 we discussed earlier, and now the position was 2. So and at the last printing the complete linked list. So what expected over here is 67 is after 78 and before 44. So let us see that whether the logic that we have used in this particular function is properly working or not. So just after running the example, we have been getting expected output. So just like this one over here. So as mentioned earlier, the loop will be going to be executed 0 times as the position -2 is given over here. So the reason behind doing -2 here, first is the index. So index concept we know it starts along with 0, and second the first pointer, that is the head itself. So because we are initialize the head as the first pointer, so we'll need to traverse throughout the loop one time less. So that's the reason why the -2 is written over here. So now let us try one more time by inserting the node at the third position or something different position. So let it be 3 itself over here. Expectations are to get 88 after 67 and before 44. So let's see whether it is properly being executed or not. and as expected the 88 is going to be inserted after 67 and before 44. So the function that we have created is properly working, and this was the first part, that is the inserting operations that were going to be performed on a doubly linked list. So in the next part we'll be seeing various operations which are going to be performed on the double linked list for deleting a particular node. As the video length is going to be more, that's why we are keeping this particular topic in two parts. So thanks for watching.